Hello, welcome to another video. Now, sorry about my absolutely crazy hair, but we're just going with this today. If you saw my last video that I'll link up here, you'll know that I am currently in a reading slump, and of the two genres of books that tend to help me get out of a reading slump, which are thrillers and romance, the video that was up there was 10 books that I was recommended by my friends that were thrillers to help me get out of a reading slump. So today we're doing the other side. So these are, I've got next to me here a stack of books that are 10 romances that my friends have recommended I read to get me out of a reading slump. I am excited by all of these. So what I did was sent a photo of my shelves to my friends and said, hey, what should I read? I need to get out of a reading slump. I need something that is going to be fast paced. I need something that is going to be intriguing. I don't want something that is super slow and like all vibes, no plot. Fast paced, intriguing, good romance, good characters. What do you suggest? And I feel like there might be a couple where they didn't quite hit the brief, but we'll go through this list anyway. These aren't all strictly romances either. There's a couple that are like contemporaries, maybe historical in there, but all kind of romance adjacent. So I'm calling them all romances just for ease. So to start off with, I believe it was Alexis that recommended me Abby Jimenez, Yours Truly. I am so excited to read this book. In fact, I realised after I got all of the recommendations back from my friends, I hadn't sent a pile of books, which actually were the ones that I was putting on a TBR for the Glitch to Readathon, which is happening this week anyway. So the books that I was most excited to read, I didn't even send to my friends to recommend me. So I'm planning on reading Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez this week anyway, but I was recommended Yours Truly. I'm excited to start reading Abby Jimenez. I think I'm going to really enjoy her. So excited for this one. Next up, this is a Susanna rec, which is You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akweke Emezi. This book scares me because I've heard so many fantastic things about it, but I also feel like, even though I've heard from lots of like romance readers that this is a romance and it is really, really good, in my head I'm still thinking it's a literary fiction, and I'm like, oh, I don't like lit fic. So I don't think I'm going to read this one right now, just purely because I think it might need a little bit more brain power than the sort of all vibes head empty, just reading like romances that I want. But I am excited to read this. I bought this one on Susanna's recommendation, so I probably should read it as well on her recommendation. Another zoo rec was One Last Stop by Casey McCriston. Again, this one I am slightly worried about. I read Red, White and Royal Blue, which I gave 3 stars. It was nice, but I didn't love it. But I think a lot of that was the political setting, and I just felt like the way the Red, White and Royal Blue was written had a very large assumption of your knowledge of American politics, which, I mean, my knowledge of American politics is 0. This one does sound really interesting because it's kind of like got a sci-fi speculative element to it. So I am excited to read this one. Again, I don't think it's going to be one that I'm going to pick up immediately because I feel like I'm going to need to be in the mood for something that has got that kind of sci-fi element. And like I said, basically my slump is due to reading too many fantasies, so I'm trying to avoid that kind of fantasy adjacent element. Next up, a recommendation from Juliana is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. This one I am excited to read, and I do want to read it. I want to read it before the summer. So this one, actually Juliana gave me last May. We were on a work retreat and she finished reading it and passed it on to me. I think it went round about 3 of us in the group in like the week that we were away. So I do want to read it. I think I might read and annotate this one and bring it back to like share with the group again. So I am excited, but also I believe it's a clean romance, and I don't know how, like, I think I will enjoy a clean romance, but I don't know. I am excited to read it though. Next up, we have got Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. So I am a huge Tessa Bailey fan. I love Tessa Bailey. I love her books. I love her writing style. I've not read a Tessa Bailey book that I have rated less than 4 stars. Like, I have really enjoyed everything by Tessa Bailey that I've read. However, because I did my like guesses of what was going to be in the Goodreads Choice Awards last year when this one came out, this one didn't even qualify for the awards because it's got an average rating of like 3.2 or something, which really surprises me. But I do think I am going to enjoy it. I do think I'm gonna like it. So definitely do want to read this one. I don't remember if I've got any Tessa Bailey on my current TBR. I don't. This one I think is going to be sneaking up the TBR because similarly to Abby Jimenez, I have a lot of faith in Tessa Bailey as an author that I'm going to enjoy her writing. And I think I'm going to really enjoy Abby Jimenez as well. So excited. Next up, this one was, I think this was an Alexis rec, can't quite remember. The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I've not read anything by Christina Lauren, and so this would be my first. This one is, I think it is like 2 characters who are on like a documentary or like a TV show or something, which I assume is the True Love Experiment, and seeing whether or not they can like fall in love. Yeah, I think this one has a very interesting premise to me, but like I said, I've not read anything by the author. I think this one is fairly high on my TBR. The next ones, like I said, are probably slightly less on point in terms of fitting the brief. Had to take a tea break there. So next, a Susanna Rec, Lovely War by Julie Berry. I really want to read this book. So this one just fascinates me. I remember seeing Lily from Literary Lily absolutely raving about this book. I remember seeing Hayley in Bookland raving about this book. So this one is, I believe this is set in World War I and World War II, but it is told by Aphrodite and Ares, maybe? I think this one would be fantastic, but it is a historical, and I think it's going to be a slower paced book than I want right now, but I am so happy that I have been recommended this because that has again reignited my excitement for this book. Next, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. Again, this isn't one that I'm going to read right now. It is more of a historical, and I feel like it also deserves brain power, which I don't have right now. But I am so happy that I've been recommended this. I believe this one was a Susanna rec. I'm excited that I've been recommended it, and that because again, it's just reminded me, I guess, that it's on my shelves and that it's exciting. The last Susanna rec that I've got on this pile is Wolf Song by TJ Klune. So I definitely do want to read this, but right now this is too fantasy adjacent for me. I'm not 100% sure what it's even about. I think it's but I'm fairly certain there's like wolf shifters. Yeah, there's the family of wolf shifters. So it's too fantasy adjacent for me right now, but I am very excited to read this eventually. And then the final book I have on my romance contemporary sort of pile of recommendations to get me out of reading slump is Wish You Were Here by Jodi Picoult. So this one was a recommendation from Lex, and whenever Lex recommends me a book that is not a well, to be honest, whenever Lex recommends me a book, I'm like, I know it's going to be good. She is the queen of thrillers, but if she has read and recommended a book that is not a thriller, I know it is 10/10 incredible. She suggested Wish You Were Here just for the kind of what the actual fuck, like, vibes in it. This one, I believe it is a COVID book. It's set in like March 2020. A couple are, I believe, on their honeymoon in the Galapagos. He is a doctor and he is called back to New York because there has been this outbreak of COVID. And she stays there, and then there is lockdown and she can't get home. Jodie Picoult I do love, but again, this is going to be a slow paced. It's Jodie Picoult. I know it is going to be slow paced. I know it is going to be a heart-wrenching, incredible story, but it's not going to be the fast-paced book that I want right now. But I'm excited. So these are the 10 romance, contemporaries, historical, romance adjacent books that I have been recommended to get me out of a reading slump. Let me know if you have read any of these. Let me know if you agree that any of them will help get you out of a slump. And also please do recommend me any other romances down below that you think will help me get out of a reading slump. Let me know as well what you do when you're in a reading slump, like what gets you out. If you like this video, please leave me a like, subscribe down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!